copper's gonna have less of an allowance than what your iron pipe and stuff is, right?
Yes, every type of material is gonna have a different allowance. But every single copper 45 made should have the same allowance, fitting allowance. For three-quarter inch copper fitting, all of them should have the same fitting allowance. Every half-inch copper fitting should have, or half-inch 90 will have the same fitting allowance, or half-inch 45. 45 and 90s, they've got different fitting allowances. So, the easiest way to be sure, especially like if you're going to a journeyman's test and you're gonna take the test and you're gonna have to do a 45-degree offset, you're gonna wanna do what I just did on the board. We can see on the outside of a copper fitting where this pipe stop is gonna be at. We can draw a center line, imagine, draw that line in there where that center is gonna be, both directions. And then we can measure from that spot to that spot to get our fitting allowance. You can do that with any size fitting, half-inch, three-quarter, 6-inch. You know, I've got a 6-inch fitting that you'll see all kinds of marks on because I normally hold it up and say, this is it, this is how you do it. Let's see. That's in a different chapter. Okay. Which chapter was that in? Piping, okay? Face to face, all right? Face to face is exactly the way it sounds. It's the face of that fitting to the face of the fitting. Now, they're gonna say add fitting allowances. Now, what they're saying fitting allowance is from the face of that fitting to where the pipe's gonna stop. Alright, that's different than the fitting allowance that I call. But, so if you measure face to face, then you're gonna have to add. You're gonna have to add how much that pipe's gonna go in there. Now, for a 3/4 inch copper fitting, I know that it's gonna go in there 3/4 of an inch. So I'd add 1.5 inches, 3/4 twice, and do my math. Alright, half-inch copper fitting, same way. They just happen to go in the same as the nominal size. Alright, shoulder to shoulder, okay? It says only DWB fittings have shoulders, not necessarily. Copper fittings do have shoulders, they're just hard to get to, okay? The shoulder is where that pipe's gonna stop. Alright, you'll see it on any fitting. You can actually measure where that pipe's gonna stop. Shoulder to shoulder measurements are exact measurements. No add, no subtraction.
I like that one.
Yeah, if you can get to them.
Right.
Sometimes they're 16 feet apart. So, but it is the most accurate measure, okay, because we're not having to add and subtract anything. Alright? Now, center to center. Every project that I put up, unless I say it differently, every project that I put on the board will be a line drawing, and I will say it'll be center to center measures. I won't draw each fitting like that, because it takes too long. What? I keep losing my mind. Losing my mind. So I would draw 45-degree offset like that, and I'd say this is 18 inches to the end of that, and that this is 4 1/8 offset. So when I draw it like that, you're gonna know that that's center to center is what we're going by. But this 18 is end to end. Probably not.
Oh, mom's calling. Better get that.
Center line, pipe, center line, pipe. just like we saw in the other picture, alright? So when you do your 4 1/8 times your 1.414, you're gonna get the center of the fitting here, center of fitting here, and then you're gonna have to take off for your fittings, okay? What they are calling laying length. I call it a filling allowance, they call it laying length, cause typically I've never measured face to face and said a fitting allowance. So, just different terminology. Okay, so, if you look at this picture, they're saying laying length, and depending on the fitting, is how the center actually comes out. They're saying that laying length's here, so this is what they would call their fitting allowance. It would be that measurement, but sorry, how do you want me to call it? You want me to call it laying length, or you want to call it fitting allowance?
I don't like laying.
Huh?
I don't like laying.
Alright, we'll call it fitting allowance, cause we're not gonna use laying length, alright, we're never gonna measure face to face, alright, in here. Alright, so I'll call it fitting allowance, that'll be from the portion of the pipe that doesn't reach the center. That's what you've gotta take off your total measure in order to cut your piece right and get it all fit together, and still have the right center to center measures. We will get in very tight with, this measuring, when we do copper. Cause I do a lot of 45-degree offsets, in copper, and we'll be taking care of all our math during that. So, let's see. As a student calling, wanting to know about the plumbing program, I said, get that into the fitting, and then we measure from the center, and this is not for any specific fitting, but 3, and it might be about 3 and 5/16. Just guessing, I don't know what fitting I'm using, but 3 and 5/16. So we'll know from our 3-inch pipe's in there, so we know that our fitting allowance is 5/16. So for any time that we use a 90, we will have a 5/16 fitting allowance on 90s for, say, a 1/2-inch pipe. Now, you need to check it and measure, because 5/16 is just a number I pulled out of my head. I think it might be closer to 7/16, but do the same thing with 45. 45 is gonna be a little bit different. We thread it in, find our center, then we find our fitting allowance. Right? Easy? Maybe? Alright. Does it make sense?